M2 Bradley. The M2 Bradley, also known as the Bradley IFV, is an American infantry fighting vehicle produced by BAE Systems Land and Armaments. It is designed for reconnaissance and to transport a squad of infantry while offering protection against small arms fire and the ability to engage and eliminate threats to friendly infantry. The vehicle is highly maneuverable and fast, capable of keeping pace with heavy armor. The M2 Bradley carries a crew of 3 and can transport 6 fully equipped soldiers. The program cost $5.66 billion for 1,602 units in 2000, averaging $3.17 million per unit, equivalent to $4.12 million in 2022. The Bradley Infantry Fighting Vehicle IFV was created in response to the Soviet BMP infantry fighting vehicles and was intended to serve as both an armored personnel carrier APC and a tank killer. Development started around 1963, and it went into production in 1981. One key design requirement was to match the speed of the new M1 Abrams main battle tank to allow them to stay in formation during movement, a capability the older M113 armored personnel carrier, designed for the older M60 Patton, did not possess. The Bradley Infantry Fighting Vehicle IFV is armed with a 25mm autocannon as its primary weapon, which is primarily used for clearing bunkers and engaging lightly armored vehicles. It is not the ideal choice for attacking tanks, but there have been isolated instances of it damaging older tanks. The vehicle also carries an M240C machine gun with 2,200 rounds of 7.62mm ammunition for lighter targets. To engage heavier targets like tanks, it is equipped with a TOW missile system. The ammunition has evolved to include the M919 APF SDST round with a depleted uranium penetrator, which was used in combat during the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Additionally, the Bradley has firing ports for M231 firing port weapons, although these are rarely used. The original design had 6 ports, but newer versions only have 2 rear-facing mounts in the loading ramp due to armor upgrades. The initial use of aluminum armor and the storage of a large amount of ammunition in the Bradley raised concerns about its combat survivability. To address this, later versions of the vehicle incorporated spaced laminate belts and high-hardness steel skirts to enhance armor protection, though this increased the overall weight to 33 tons. Despite these concerns, combat operations have not revealed significant deficiencies in the Bradley's survivability, with few losses reported. In friendly fire incidents during Desert Storm, Bradley crew members often survived hits that completely destroyed lighter USMC LAV-25 vehicles. All versions of the Bradley are equipped with smoke grenade launchers for creating defensive smoke screens and deploying chaff or flares. In 2018, the U.S. Army announced plans to install the Israeli-made Iron Fist active protection system on M2 Bradleys in one armored brigade to enhance protection against anti-tank rockets and missiles. However, the original configuration of the system proved to be ineffective, leading to delays in installation. Testing of a reconfigured version called the Iron Fist Light Decoupled in 2022 showed more promising results, and the Army intends to field a brigade set with this system in 2025. The Bradley's structure consists of a welded aluminum unit to which the armor is primarily attached on the outside. It employs a suspension system using torsion bars and cranks, with 6 small road wheels on each side that ride over location flanges on the tread. Originally, these wheels were made of aluminum but were later replaced with steel due to increased vehicle weight. The steel treads rest on flat, solid rubber tires. The Bradley is proficient in cross-country open terrain, aligning with its design goal to match the speed of the M1 Abrams tank. Unlike the M113, which could float with minimal preparation, the Bradley was initially designed to float by deploying a flotation curtain around the vehicle. However, this led to issues and drownings during early trials. After armor upgrades, the Bradley lost its ability to float. Since 1986, the U.S. Army has considered 9 individuals as the optimal size for a mechanized squad. The Bradley, due to limited passenger space, accommodates a full squad by splitting it. The original Bradley could carry 3 crew members and 6 passengers. In a mechanized platoon of 4 Bradleys, there were 12 crew members and 2 9-member infantry squads, along with 5 additional personnel who needed to ride in the vehicles. Later versions of the Bradley were modified to carry an extra dismount, making room for 7 dismounts in each vehicle and a total of 40 soldiers in a 4-vehicle platoon. However, this new configuration left no space for the platoon leader, medic, radio telephone operator, or forward observers. In practice, there is often flexibility due to not having a full complement of personnel. Despite these changes, squads were still divided among multiple Bradleys, which could be challenging to manage during dismounting, particularly in combat situations. To address this, the U.S. Army intends for the Ground Combat Vehicle GCV to carry a complete 9-man squad, ensuring that a platoon of 4 GCVs can accommodate 12 crew members and 36 dismounts. This arrangement allows for each of the 3 squads to occupy 1 GCV fully, and the 4th GCV can carry the platoon leader, forward observers, radio telephone operator, and medic. During the 1990 to 1991 Persian Gulf War, the M2 Bradleys destroyed more Iraqi armored vehicles than the M1 Abrams. However, 20 Bradleys were lost, with 3 to enemy fire and 17 due to friendly fire incidents. To address the latter issue, infrared identification panels and other marking measures were added to the Bradleys. In the Iraq War from 2003, the Bradleys were vulnerable to improvised explosive devices IEDs and rocket-propelled Grenade RPG attacks, but casualties were light, as the doctrine prioritized crew survival over the vehicle. By the end of the war, about 150 Bradleys had been destroyed. The M2A3 variant started replacing the M3A3 cavalry fighting vehicles in U.S. Army armored reconnaissance units in 2014 to enhance mobility. In 2016, Humvees in these units were replaced with M2A3s to bolster maneuver warfare capabilities. In 2023, the Pentagon provided 50 Bradleys to Ukraine during the Russian invasion, as they deemed Ukrainian forces capable of maintaining these armored vehicles. The Bradleys saw combat in the 2023 Ukrainian counteroffensive, with some being lost to mines and anti-tank guided missiles. Ukrainian soldiers praised the Bradley's survivability, and some units reported successful engagements against Russian tanks. As of October 8, at least 55 Ukrainian Bradleys had been heavily damaged. The U.S. Army's efforts to replace the Bradley infantry fighting vehicle began in the mid-1980s under the Armored Systems Modernization Program, which explored various vehicle variants for replacing main battle tanks and Bradleys. This initiative was canceled in 1992 following the collapse of the Soviet Union. Subsequently, the Army initiated the Future Combat Systems (FCS) Manned Ground Vehicles program in 1999, focusing on lightweight tracked vehicles with a common chassis. However, this program was canceled in 2009 due to budget constraints. In 2010, the Ground Combat Vehicle (GCV) program was launched to replace the Bradley. Two entries from BAE and General Dynamics were being considered, but concerns arose about the proposed vehicle's weight, which was around 70 tons. The GCV program was terminated in 2014 due to sequestration budget cuts. In June 2018, the Army introduced the Next Generation Combat Vehicle (NGCV) program, later redesignated as the Optionally Manned Fighting Vehicle (OMFV) in October 2018. The OMFV program initially placed much of the development cost on contractors, leading to the withdrawal of many competitors. In February 2020, the Army restarted the program, committing to more funding responsibility. In June 2023, American Rheinmetall Vehicles and General Dynamics Land Systems were selected to proceed with the program, with the final winner to be chosen in 2027, and the XM-30 Mechanized Infantry Combat Vehicle scheduled for deployment by 2029. Thank you for watching.